are Today's Sports Live, but we're talking about pop culture. So we're not talking about sports. Sorry, guys. I'm Tatiana Hernandez, and this is my co-host Michaela Young and Georgia Rowley. And Michaela's going to be talking about John Singleton's death, and Georgia's going to be talking about the Jonas Brothers coming back on tour. But speaking about that, let's talk about that first. I'm so excited because they're coming to Connecticut, and the last time they came to Connecticut, I was in middle school. So, and I couldn't go because my dad didn't let me. It's finally time for me to shine.
It's just going to be weird because, they're all older now. So it's like, even though I want to have a crush on them, Nick just got married, Kevin got a whole kid, Joe.
2 kids.
Two kids?
Two daughters. 2 daughters.
2 daughters, that's what I'm saying. And then Joe is Joe.
No, he's going to get married.
You see, they're all taken. So it's I'm going to be sitting there waving my hands oh my God, somebody's husband.
No.
But
they're all taken and they're all older, and yeah, same with me.
I honestly have no words because I never really got into them when I was younger.
You should get into them now.
I'm waiting for a One Direction reunion.
Oh, same.
Georgia.
I feel you, though. Same.
Georgia.
With One Direction, I
You're
want them
One
back.
Direction?
Yes, I love
But
them.
not Jonas Brothers?
Jonas Brothers both. Why not both? Come on. It's fine.
I don't know
like
who
both.
I'm sitting next to. Anyway.
But let's talk. Let's have Georgia talk more about the Jonas Brothers going back on tour.
Yesterday, many Jonas Brothers fans went crazy when they saw the Happiness Begins hashtags trending on Twitter. Many venues across the country posting a picture of the Jonas Brothers tour date with the caption #Happiness Begins underneath. The funny thing is, the Jonas Brothers did not make an announcement about dropping tour dates, but they've been hinting at it for a while. Last week, they announced they will be dropping their album Happiness Begins on June 7th, and fans went wild about that. Many young fans are happy they are finally back after taking a 6-year break to do their own individual music. I personally have never gotten into the Jonas Brothers besides a couple of songs, but all their new songs are definitely bops. The Jonas Brothers personally said they are excited about this tour and can't wait to get in front of their fans again. They also added they can't wait to see they can't wait for everyone to see what they have planned. The Happiness Begins tour will start in Miami, Florida on August 4th and end October 20th in Los Angeles, California. They will be stopping in 40 different cities around North America over the 3-month period. Singers Bebe Rexha and Jordan McGraw will be opening for them for all dates on the tour. Many fans have tweeted about how excited they are about this era of the Jonas Brothers and can't wait to relive their childhood by seeing them in concert again. From my point of view, this tour will be very exciting for many people with all old tunes from their childhood and bring back some good nostalgia for their fans.
Yes.
Now over to Tatiana about a podcast called My Favorite Murder.
Hi. Say Sexy and Don't Get Murdered. The Definitive How-To Guy is the new book from Karen Kirgaev and Georgia Hardstark, co-host of My Favorite Murder, the podcast. The duo worked so hard on writing this book, and I'm super excited to read it. Not only it's about murder and unsolved cases, but also it's about their lives and troubling times that they had and how they overcame it. If you don't know this already, Georgia and Karen are the hosts of a lovely podcast, true crime podcast and comedy podcast called My Favorite Murder. They put out 2 episodes per week for their lovely fan base called Murderinos. Thank God I got into this lovely podcast because they make my commute so much better. On May 28th, everyone can go to Amazon or Barnes & Nobles or their local bookstore to get the book, which is really exciting to figure out what these ladies wrote. According to Amazon's description of the book, sharing never before heard stories ranging from their struggles with depression, eating disorders, and addiction, Karen and Georgia recount their biggest mistakes and deepest fears, reflecting on their formative life events that shaped them into 2 of the most followed voices in the nation. It's kind of wonderful to listen to this podcast that are constantly talking about mental health. Knowing that the book will continue to discuss about mental health makes me and a lot of people super excited and inspired. Being so open and talking about your own issue isn't easy. I look up to both Karen and Georgia for that reason. They are making it okay to talk about mental health, and it should be important now. According to Rolling Stones, My Favorite Murder started as a way for Karen Kilgariff and Georgia Hardstock to work through their fears. Now it's a nationwide community. Even its darkest moments are lightened by Karen and Georgia's effortlessly funny bankers and genius empathy. Overall, if you're a fan of murder, comedy, and just mental health, and George's wonderful cat named Elvis, then this podcast and book is definitely for you. I personally can't wait to read it this summer. And just a reminder that the book comes out May 28th, 2019. Stay sexy and don't get murdered. Now to Michaela Young on the unfortunate tragic death of John Singleton.
So it's been 3 days since the passing of film director John Singleton, and celebrities are still mourning the death of the 51-year-old. Singleton was best known for his iconic film Boys in the Hood, which not only earned him an Oscar nomination, but made him the first African-American to achieve this. On April 17th, it was reported that Singleton suffered a stroke and was placed under intensive care. This was a result after Singleton reportedly began to experience weaknesses in his legs after returning to the United States from a trip to Costa Rica. On April 25th, it was reported that he was in a coma and was currently on life support. After several of prayers from fellow friends, the family released a statement saying, "It is with heavy hearts they announce that their beloved son, father, and friend, John Daniel Singleton, will be taken off life support today." They go on to say this was an agonizing decision, one that their family made over several days with the careful counsel of John's doctor. Singleton is who is no rookie in the game, who has directed infamous films such as Poetic Justice, Higher Learning, Baby Boy. These films impacted the urban population tremendously. Singleton also directed the action films Shaft, To Fast and Furious, and Four Brothers. These films were not only a product of his creative mind, but in a way, a voice for our culture. I grew up watching these films, and in fact, some of these films still being my favorite. Singleton showed in all of his products that his values resided with his upbringing, specifically with the characters that he created. Most of the characters in his films was designed based on his actual family members. Having most of his films take place in Los Angeles, his birthplace, you can see how his experiences shaped his films and how he wanted to portray his city. Actors and friends are continuing to show their gratitude for the late director, and one friend, O'Shea Jackson, known as Ice Cube, tweeted, "He was discovered by a master filmmaker by the name of John Singleton." He went on to say he not only made him a movie star, but made him a filmmaker. The actor goes on, "There are no words to express how sad he is to lose a brother, friend, and mentor." Hearing this from one of my favorite actors who created my favorite movie, Friday, was bittersweet. John Singleton was a true master of his craft, and he will be deeply missed. Well, folks, that's all I have today. I'm Michaela Young, and on behalf of Tatiana Hernandez and Georgia Rowley, we are TSL. It's been a fun ride, and thank you for tuning in every week.
Bye.
That's all, folks.